Welcome to the call. Welcome, everyone. Hi. Now we
Hi,
have
Rico. Rico's
hey,
on the
Rico is
call.
here as well. Rico, welcome. Rico, my name is Aranya. Good morning, good evening, and good day, my Opulence family. My name is Aranya from Thailand. I am very, happy to be a host today. And I am at the moment LD2. Just would like to introduce our guest speaker today. Very important, very interesting person. Jess Marcos. Um, Jess Marcos is a nurse with 12 years experience in clinical practice, specializing in AIDS cases, both adult and adolescents. She also did a year of corporate nursing in New York City for the World Trade Center. She left weeks before 9/11. Jess moved to Toronto in 1998 and managed a nursing business, which was started by her late husband 43 years ago. She's also a natural healing, herbs. You're into natural healings, herbs, and natural supplements. When Fountain of Life was introduced to her 6 months ago, she got hooked right away. Currently, she's fascinated with the newest product line, the Divine, considering the powerful ingredients that are contained in this phenomenal product. To enlighten us more on this powerful product, please help me welcome Nurse Jasmine Marcos. Welcome,
Thank you very
Jasmine.
much,
We call you
Aranya.
Jazz, right?
Yeah, call me
Thank you.
Jazz. Call me
Yes,
Jazz.
please. Our very own David Okamoto. David handles the regulatory affairs at Opulence Global. From his science and pharmaceutical background, David recognized the incredible value of Furry Flawless as a world-class product that delivers on its promise of anti-aging. His enthusiasm continues with the Fountain of Life, which is the most powerful antioxidant from nature, and the future development in the Safe Home Revolution collection. David is honored to be a part of this incredible journey as Opulence Global changes the lives of people. Let's join me welcome David Okamoto, please. Welcome, David.
Well, thank you for the nice introduction. I hope everyone's well tonight.
Yes, I
Yeah,
will
so
leave the floor to both of you. Thank you.
Aranya, thank you for hosting. As always, you're very lively and always wearing a smile, and that's really very nice. And good evening, good morning, good afternoon to all our partners, and if we have guests on the call. And welcome to the product Crossfire tonight. David, our topic is about the health benefits of Divine. I know we have been talking about this prior to the launch and weeks after we have the products delivered to a lot of our business partners and customers now. So I would like to share a slide, David, just a brief
Sure.
review about what Fountain of Life is all about. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jazz, and I'm with David tonight. Thank you, Aranya. And tonight, our product Crossfire is all about our Divine, and it's indeed divine. I don't know, a lot of our partners have already started using it. Share your experiences, what you have noticed in your body using the Divine. So it's actually a very powerful combination of maritime pine bark extract, glutathione, which is a master antioxidant, vitamin C, grape seed extract, vitamin D, and zinc. It is vegan, non-GMO, and gluten-free, as we know. To ensure that these valuable dietary ingredients are absorbed and may be utilized for our body, Divine has enteric-coated advanced capsule technology to release its contents once in a small intestine, avoiding the harsh environment and destructive gastric juices of our stomach. So just to give you a review of what Divine can do, Divine boosts brain function and memory, and we will explore that later. Just an overview. It improves the skin. It improves erectile dysfunction for men, supports respiratory function, aids in vision maintenance. It supports liver and cell detoxification. It promotes diabetic health. It supports collagen formation, improves absorption of other antioxidants. It promotes gut health. It benefits heart health, and it helps to maintain and regulate the immune system. As you can see here, this is a much better slide here, and it's more colorful, so it's easier for us to remember the benefits of Divine. And this is a supplement that supports, in general, our immune system. It fights against damage caused by the free radicals, and it promotes healthy skin. And it helps the body, it helps in energy metabolism and tissue formation. It helps in absorption and use of calcium and phosphorus. It helps in the development and maintenance of bones, cartilage, teeth, and gums. It helps in wound healing and connective tissue formation, and it impacts athletic performance and recovery. So pretty much, David, everything is here now. We can't ask for anything more. So I have to stop the sharing of the screen now. So I'm done with that. So where would you like to start, David? I know that we are pretty much aware of what vitamin C can do to our body, what vitamin D can do to our body, glutathione, but I think we need to pick some ingredients which we haven't really explored a lot, like grapeseed and zinc.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, David?
Sure. I think sometimes we sort of gloss over some of these things, and there's we don't talk about it enough. Like GSC, the grapeseed extract, has I think there's a lot of value to this ingredient. And not to it should not be just one of those things that we say, well, we include it, but why are we included? It goes beyond just reducing oxidative damage. But we're looking at the true value of why would we add grapeseed extract to this product? And I think that it does a number of things that we should explore. One thing that it does do is improve collagen levels, and it helps our bone health. It supports our brain health. As we get older, flavonoids are really important for us, and we sometimes don't realize the value of some of the nutrients that we have to add into our diets because we're just not getting enough of it. And I think that's one of the things that I think we have to realize, and for the majority of us, including myself, I really don't eat a balanced diet at times. I'm in a rush constantly, and I'm not. I'd like to believe that I do, but I know I don't. In reality, you have the proper nutritional content and everything, and that's why as you get older, I think we have to be more cognizant of it, and that's why we have to supplement ourselves with the nutrients that we're no longer getting in our diets. And I think one thing about Divine, it covers a number of areas, and GSC is a very interesting ingredient because of its functionality that's spread across so many areas. I don't know. Have you worked with grapeseed extract?
I've worked with grapeseed extract before. I know that we all love grapes, first of all.
Yes.
And we're encouraged to eat grapes with seeds. But do we really eat the seeds? No, we don't. And even
No.
if we did, the amount of oil is not as much as when it is extracted, right?
Yes.
So when it becomes oil, then it has more benefits.
Mhm.
So actually, grapeseed has more vitamin E than soybean and olive oil. And grapeseed not only has vitamin E, but it also has the omega-6 fatty acids and the polyphenols. Right, David?
Yeah, that's interesting. I
It's
never realized it had that much omega-6s in it, so
yeah,
that's an interesting
and the
thing.
beauty benefits from its fatty acids, it helps rebuild collagen in the skin.
Mhm,
You know, as
mhm.
we age, our skin loses collagen and it sags and it contributes to dullness and dryness. So collagen gives skin the youthful bounce and glow.
Yes, that's really
Yeah,
important. And you know, across the races, there's some, you know, some races have less collagen in it. You know, black skin has 4 times the collagen as white skin. I'm sorry to say that to some people, but that's why you know, the rate of aging is so pronounced at times. And you know, I've got friends who are black, they say black don't crack. Well, I've explained it to them. It's because they have such beautiful high collagen levels that their skin is always good. I think we can help that. You know, like we help people that are losing collagen, and you know, we all lose collagen, and regardless of our race, as we grow older, we don't produce it very effectively. So we can
correct.
support that. And I think
Correct.
something like grapeseed extract is an important factor of that.
It is, David. And as we grow older, like we're not eating the same amount of food and the same food sources that we normally would have in our diet. So
Mhm.
that affects the level of, for example, glutathione. It's made from proteins, from
Mhm.
amino acids. So if we're not eating enough protein, we're not producing enough glutathione. And same thing with the other like omega-6. If we don't eat the right nuts, vegetables, and oils, then we don't have it, right? So it's really convenient for us to take some supplement that incorporates all these important dietary what do you call this, vitamins and
And
minerals.
nutrients. Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, a diet that's rich in omega-6 fatty acids has also been associated with better protection against the sun. It's because they can reduce inflammation in the body and improves the pain and swelling from sunburns.
Mhm.
It can protect our skin better against the sun's harmful rays. And another benefit of better skin protection, it becomes, our skin becomes more brighter and more youthful looking. You know, I've noticed that even just taking FOL, a lot of us have changed. You know, you see the glow in the skin and the face.
Mhm.
And also, omega-6 can help protect against signs of skin aging, like wrinkles and dryness. So you get it naturally from food, but we're not getting it from food. We have it from Divine, which is our supplement. Very easy regimen, 3 capsules a day, and it gives you the amount of nutrients that your body needs. Omega-6 also help reduce inflammation, which may explain how we may speed up the healing of the wound. And the vitamin E and the polyphenols are also antioxidants.
Yeah.
Vitamin E is also a powerful antioxidant where we can get it from nuts again, oils, right? And some fruits. And also it's
Mhm.
rich. You get a lot of vitamin E from avocados, asparagus, mangoes, red peppers. But do we have that in our diet every day? Again, no. So it's very convenient, and we're very grateful to have Divine with us because it is already there. And polyphenol, as you know, there are about 8,000 different types, but more than half of it is actually composed of the flavonoids.
Mhm.
So the flavonoids actually, we can find it in onions, in kale, parsley, red wine, soybeans, right? But it has its anti-inflammatory properties and it lowers the blood sugar. It increases the insulin sensitivity. It decreases risk for cancer. and it improves heart health and digestion, and it boosts brain function. So all our claims are actually justified by all the ingredients that we have in one capsule.
Yeah,
And
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, David, go
Oh, no,
ahead.
I just think it's sort of interesting. Yeah, as you've walked through this, and I've seen it, research this to better understand exactly what we have in Divine. And I think that there's a lot of value to that and understanding that, and not to fool ourselves, and really, I think we're really gotta take hold of the fact that our diets aren't that good at times. I work long hours, I hate to say, uh, what sort of stuff that we always eat when we're in such a rush. And I know that we're not eating what we call quote unquote healthy, but we still need all these foodstuffs, beyond just looking better. But heart health is important, brain health is important. And we do have to supplement our diets with products that are going to augment that, supply us with that. And the byproduct of all this is hopefully you look younger and you look better for a longer time. A little vanity there, but at the same time, I think that it's a worthwhile type of exercise to have products that will support us. And I think the beauty industry right now is really exploring that. And I've talked about this a number of times that they're saying that, beauty starts from within. And if you have
Exactly.
if you have a lot of oxidative stress, if you've got, a lot of free radical activity and chronic inflammation, you are not going to have the skin that you do want. And so we can start there with someone like Divine. We do have the ability to look at, beauty from the inside and out now. And I think we were able to do that with Falcon Life. I think this just takes it to another level.
Exactly. Like I always say when I do the presentation, we'll see you when we're 100 years old, because the combination of FOL, Divine, and Becoming Collagen, it's just targeting every cell in our body, making us healthier and looking younger.
Mm-hmm.
And vitamin E, David, it's also good for our vision, reproduction, and the health of our blood, brain, and skin. Actually, the free radicals, the damage was involved in the early stages of artery clogging called atherosclerosis. So Divine is a strong antioxidant, right? So this is the reason why it actually lowers the risk of heart attack, heart problems, stroke, and it also contribute to cancer. It helps with you not developing cancer and a host of other chronic conditions. So like I said, food sources are like nuts, oils, beet greens, collard greens, pumpkin, but do we really have that in our diet? And not only that, we are always in a rush. The quality of the fruits and vegetables that we get, because they're already genetically modified or the so-called biologically engineered or fortified. So even if we buy those fruits and vegetables and nuts and oils, we are not really sure if they're still the same or they still give us the same amount of nutrients that we are supposed to get. So we are in a very, critical situation. Like, it's not just a question of buying what we need, but the quality of what we buy in order for us to get those nutrients. But once again, thanks for the existence of Divine, because it solves a lot of our problems.
Mm-hmm.
If
I
I,
think.
if I please, may interrupt, I beg your pardon,
Oh, yeah,
but
go
just
ahead.
so that we will not go further from the question point, because there's two here. The first one we passed already, but you can go back to there, because Caroline Chung asked, can you explain how it helps regenerate vitamin C? But the second one is right on the spot where Shona asked, you were mentioned about the eyes, right, just now. She said it's in vision maintenance. What part of the eye is being helped? could this help muscular degeneration? If we could please, and I'm sorry for interruption.
Well-
I'll answer that first, David. The macular
Okay.
degeneration. Actually, zinc prevents macular degeneration. Let me go to my notes here. I know zinc is very, very important, and it significantly reduces your risk of age-related diseases such as pneumonia, infection, and age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. Now, the eye disease that can blur, it's an eye disease that blurs your central vision. Aging causes damage to the macula, the part of the eyes that controls sharp, straight ahead vision. So not having enough zinc from our diet can actually contribute to the development of AMD. Because keep in mind, zinc is not produced in our body, so we have to get it from our food. And we have to have enough supply every single day, because also, David, if we don't have enough zinc, it's very, very evident. We have thinning hair, brittle fingers, we're losing hair, and also it affects our sense of taste and smell. We will lose it if we don't have the zinc. It plays a critical role in the collagen formation. So it has a lot of functions. We don't really take it seriously, but it actually does a lot of wonders to our body.
Sure, for men,
I
it
hope I answered the question.
and for men, it improves the quality of their sperm. So if you're trying to get pregnant with your significant other, it's for your sexual health, reproductive health. That's just an aside, mind you, but it's just something that you should be aware of. I do like zinc for what you're talking about, age-related macular degeneration, because it's a serious problem as you grow older.
is.
I think people should understand what happens is that essentially we have a degeneration of part of the retina, the macula of the retina, and people can see, but it becomes a shadow in the middle and they can see around. So there's that blindness to them. It's very disturbing and very difficult for a lot of people. And they can have someone standing in front of them, they can't see them. But they can turn their
Exactly.
head, they can see shadows of them. So it's a horrible, horrible problem that hits a lot of people.
And also, David, I know that it's passed on. It's inherited, because I know a family and they have this problem, and it's actually all men in their family.
Oh, I
It's
see.
more common in men than women.
Yes.
Very unsafe, because they couldn't go to work. They cannot see. They're all blind, literally. And also, one thing with zinc is like, it sends signals to our killer cells and T cells that, hey, somebody's invading our body. Go and respond immediately so we don't have any infection, right? So it's amazing how zinc works. It works wonders. And I'm very happy that it's incorporated in Divine.
Yeah. And always the optimal amount, don't say, okay, if a little bit is good, I'm gonna take a ton of it. No, the best thing is always to take the optimal amount of Divine, so there's no need to take, 10 times that amount. Take the 3, you can double it, they say, if you're not feeling well, but the optimal amount is where you can get the most impact for your body. But yeah, I think zinc is a really important part of it. And I'm pleased that it's there, and I think that people should take it really seriously. And one thing, and if you have a cold, it really does help too.
That is
Because
the reason why they incorporate zinc in lozenges, right, David?
oh, that's right too. I
Yeah,
forget about that.
lozenges, because they find out that taking about 80 to 92 milligrams daily may reduce the length of common cold by up to 33%. Also,
Wow.
in hospital use, they use zinc to heal, for wound healing. To dress the wound, they use zinc oxide,
Yes.
because it speeds up the healing. And it's not just that, it's also an antioxidant. Like, a lot of these components in Divine work hand in hand and also enhance the function of another.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's just very amazing. I'm amazed as I go deeper into the ingredients that have put in Divine. I'm just in awe.
Yeah, I think there's some interesting. It took me a while to really understand this because I wasn't part of the development of this, but I thought, I learned a lot about the thought process behind it. So I think it was great.
Really. And also zinc is the second most abundant mineral in our body, second to iron. And we don't even know that. So it's really good to learn more about what we're putting in our body because then it makes sense, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what was the first question? I totally forgot. Aranya.
They're asking about vitamin C and
How it
regenerating.
helps to regenerate vitamin C. Yes. Yes. At the initial part, we said that Divine helps to, about vitamin C. So the question Caroline asked was, can you explain how it helps regenerate vitamin C, please?
David, can you?
Okay, this is not like this is not a cut and dry type of thing because we're talking about lipid interactions in the body and how it impacts it. This is a process by which it does. I'm not going to go into that because quite honestly, it's beyond what I can really do and give it justice. But there are interactions, and it does support. The vitamin C in in Divine and any vitamin C you take does support other antioxidants and its ability to regenerate within the body. And it's supporting that. It's just that it's a very complex mechanism between that and the lipids within our body. And that's how it's not how it works because I haven't explained anything, but it does interact that way, and it does interact with other antioxidants within our body. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll write this out with some thoughts, and I'll make sure that it's posted because I want it to make sense. And I'm just going to ramble on and on with a bunch of things that won't make a lot of sense right now, with all apologies. But in all fairness, it's a good question. I'll write something that will make sense so that you can pass it on to your customers when they ask. Okay, is that fair?
Correct. I'll also look
I'll make
into
a note
that,
of that.
David, because that's a good question, Caroline. It's really good.
But I'll get you a proper answer that makes sense. The way that they write it in all these, and I've looked this up before. When they write it in some of these medical texts, you're going to go, well, I don't even understand what they're trying to say. And so I want to give you a better explanation and one that makes sense. I'm just making a note of this right now. Okay.
Okay, so the next one, we've talked about zinc, and I hope we have actually made some clarity here because we know all the ingredients, but we need to delve further and actually understand how they work and what are the amazing things they can do to our body. We've talked about grapeseed. To us, it's very simple, but it's actually very, very important because it has omega-6 fatty acids, vitamin E, and polyphenols. David, would you like to talk about glutathione this time?
The master antioxidant. I think sometimes we forget about, we assume our bodies make glutathione.
Exactly. From
And,
protein, amino acid.
but when you get to my age, you're not making it as efficiently. I guarantee it. It's not that
You're not that old, David. Come on.
I am that old.
I disagree. I'm sorry. Another question, David. I disagree. You're not old.
Yeah.
Earl Williams asked, since it's about zinc, I was already taking zinc. Should I stop with Divine?
I would say yes, because we've got an optimal level of zinc in our system. If you're supplementing your diet with certain things, I think that you can replace it. It's not, another thing you don't have to purchase. You've got it all in one capsule, so you have an optimal level of zinc. So that would be my recommendation, without knowing what you're taking. But yes.
And the daily intake is 20 milligrams, and we have enough. For 3
Mhm.
capsules, we already have 10. So 20 milligrams a day or less, that's the requirement. So to make it easy, why not just take Divine, right, David?
Yeah, because you're gonna get not just zinc, but you're gonna get a balance of the other
Exactly.
other things, GSC that you're not. I guarantee you're not taking GSC. You're not going to probably take the maritime pine bark, French maritime pine bark extract. Excuse me, I can't talk tonight. But and glutathione, like there's so many different things, and you can find all these things, but to get the optimal levels, it's all in one package. It just makes it that much easier for you. And say you're not taking 20 pills at the same time. You've got a source, and you're just taking 3.
Okay. So I hope we have answered your questions. So let's go to glutathione now, which is our master antioxidant.
Well, I think this is really important. One thing that I was concerned about when I saw that, and that was the first question I asked the lab when they developed this. I said, "Is it a deliverable?" Meaning that are we going to be able to absorb it? Because I know other companies that produced a glutathione supplement failed, and what they failed to do was getting into the small intestine where it could be actually absorbed. And the harsh environment and the gastric juices in our stomach absolutely killed it before it even got there. And they said yes, because, and we talked about the capsule technology. That's it. And, to deliver it in the right area. So that was one of the things I did ask about. And I understand the value of glutathione. Glutathione is something that we don't manufacture efficiently as we grow older. It does, it's a very, very important antioxidant. It's very, very important. Among many things, it reduces the chances of developing cancer and the progression of cancer. Insulin resistance, it's a problem that I think a lot of people have right now with diabetes type 2 is an increase in insulin resistance. And so this does help. Symptoms of Parkinson's disease, even autism spectrum disorders are improved with the presence of glutathione in the diet and reducing cell damage in liver disease. So it's really good for our liver health. It reduces the amount of heavy metals within our system. So there's a lot of things that the glutathione delivers on, and it's a real important aspect of Divine. And I think that we should really focus on the value of this wonderful ingredient that was included in Divine.
That's correct. The depletion of glutathione actually contribute to neurodegenerative disorders such as Parkinson's, which you have said, David, also cystic fibrosis and age-related diseases, as well as the aging process. Because glutathione actually can help metabolize toxins and break down free radicals, and it supports immune function and many more. It helps break down nutrients like proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, and it regulates the immune response and protect against oxidative stress. So it's very powerful. And I don't know if you know someone with cystic fibrosis is such a very debilitating problem. It has something to do with the sweat glands, right? The one that produces the sweat and mucose, and it clogs your respiratory system, and you always have cough, you always have problems with digestion, and
you basically start
terrible.
drowning in your own fluids. You can't breathe.
You drown in your own fluids, correct. And then it also leads to malnutrition because your digestion is impaired.
It's a horrible disease. I can't state enough how bad that really is.
Correct.
If anyone tells you that they got cystic fibrosis, it's a long, slow, painful type of condition to have.
I know, and what's frustrating is that it can be inherited as well. And they also found that glutathione lessens the toxic effects of chemotherapy. So for those who are undergoing chemo, if you're taking glutathione, it really helps a lot. My sister has been taking chemo pills, although it's a pill, but she's been taking it since May 2010 up to 2 months ago. She stopped when I gave her FOL. And you see how much toxin she has accumulated in her body, David. It's terrible.
Well, yeah, the oxidative stress that she'd be undergoing for all these years is tremendous. You know, that's what chemo does. It creates incredible imbalances and oxidative stress. And I'm sorry to hear that. It's terrible, just terrible.
Yes, yes. But David, if you have seen the testimonial with Fountain of Life alone, and I haven't sent her the Divine as yet.
Mhm.
In about 2 weeks' time, she said, Jazz, I have to stop my chemo pills because I want the FOL to work. So she's been taking it 30 drops twice a day. And David, she said she has never felt so good in a decade.
Oh, good.
No joint pains, no migraines, no insomnia, no dizziness, blood pressure regulated, blood
Wow.
sugar regulated,
I'm
no
so
more
happy to hear
arthritis
that.
pain, no more tingling sensation of the fingers and hands, no more numbness. And
Mhm.
it's just amazing. It's like she has lupus, right? Oh, almost the same signs and symptoms, but with just Fountain of Life. And I cannot wait to send her the Divine and see, how with Divine and FOL in
Mhm.
combination. So it's, I'm just seeing my sister as, very, very happy. Now she has
Oh,
regained her life.
good. I'm happy to hear that. You know, one thing, just an aside that I discovered, and one of my friend's mothers, she had breast cancer. She went through all this, and she went through radiation therapy, post mastectomy, and she was in such pain. She was in such pain. She couldn't dress herself. She said, and you know, the collateral damage from radiation was tremendous on her body, and he was telling me she was in such pain. So I gave him a bottle of Fountain of Life. I told him to make a spray out of it, a solution of it, because I took a look at what the hospital had given them, and I said, well, that cream will not work. And they said, no kidding, she's in so much pain. And I gave him a bottle of Fountain of Life. They made a 5% solution and they sprayed it on the area. And guess what? In 3 days, she was able to dress herself and she was able to go to the hospital and actually visit the doctors. Now, the problem is the doctors were very angry at me because they said that they said, well, you're doing really well. And she explained what had happened. She was in such pain. And she says that this gentleman, and I didn't sort of know me at that hospital, like, because I called, I used to work there so often, and she showed them, and they said, well, that's nonsense. And she said, well, it's not nonsense. She says, I could dress myself, I feel good and all this. They said, no, it's wrong. You should have used our cream. She said, but I was in pain. It didn't work for weeks. And they, and so she got very angry. She says they were very close-minded about it. And I explained it to her afterwards. I said, well, it's because they're the leading thought, uh, you know, I should say they're thought leaders in medicine in Toronto, and that's their position. And who am I? She said,
David,
well,
that's really frustrating. That's
yeah.
very
She said, well, you give
frustrating
me
because,
but she said you gave me my life back. She said
correct.
I was able to go out. I was able to, not be in pain. And she goes, this is a miracle. And she says, I don't know why the doctors don't listen. And I said, because they're trained to, go a certain route. And I said, they're not being bad. They're just being, doctors. And there's nothing wrong with being a doctor. I respect them tremendously. I have, I had the pleasure of working with some incredible doctors around the world, and including, I even worked at the Army Hospital in Thailand. It was just a wonderful
Wow.
experience. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. So it's been always an honor. So I don't want to I don't want to paint a bad picture about medicine. It's just that sometimes I want people to understand that the thought processes aren't always clear. And sometimes when you bring something new, people will be resistant to it, regardless of how smart they are. And
Correct.
sometimes you have to step out on a limb. And when you're in a lot of pain, there's no reason why you should have to live with that. I don't believe that anyways.
Wow,
Aranya, do
wow.
we have any question?
Such an
Any
experience.
questions?
Yes, please. Another question comes from Shauna. Her client, she said, my client has retinitis pigmentosa. Would divine help her? Retinitis pigmentosa. Do we pronounce it
Retinitis
correctly?
pigmentosa.
I think it's night blindness, isn't it? Retinitis pigmentosa. I don't know if I can make that claim. I'm not really too sure whether that, I think retinitis pigmentosa is, when people at night can't see very well. It's a problem with their retina. And I have not seen any studies to that. I usually refer to studies in particular to a certain ingredient or a certain product, but I'm sorry, I can't really answer that. I'd have to do some research further on that.
It's genetic and then it affects the retina. So we'll look into that because this is actually a rare eye disease.
Wow,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
This is such an interesting discussion and we're learning from you and we learn from each other, which is really, really nice.
Trust me, I learn a lot and I'm using all the dictionary that I can with all these different, names. Thank you.
That's very good.
All right, so no more question at the moment. I'll be on the side. Thank you. Please continue.
Okay, so back to the fountain of life. We're touching about fountain of life. So it's just very unfortunate that some doctors are really very determined to just stick to big pharma. And some doctors are now actually acknowledging the power of natural supplementation. So, it's really all up to you. Number one problem is if you are in pain, why would you allow yourself to be in pain all the time when you know that there is a solution, right, David? So it's just
Yeah, I'm of the same mindset. Like, why do we have to live with pain? I think too many times. And one thing in my life, I've lived most of my life in pain because, and I've mentioned this many times because I've done a lot of dumb things as a young guy, and I've broken many bones doing martial arts and skiing and all the things that we always do. And you get used to it and you acclimate to it. But at the same time, why should we? And if we're at the stage where we have products that can reduce the amount of discomfort and pain and chronic inflammation we face on a daily basis, why not? Like if you have arthritis, why do we have to live with arthritis?
oh, David, that pain is so debilitating.
It's
I
awful.
suffered from perineal tendonitis. I injured myself in the gym. It was such a painful experience, but thanks to FOL, I was only in bed for 3 days. It would have been 4 to 6 weeks or more.
Wow.
I went to work on the 10th day. I started driving on the 6th day.
Nice.
What a blessing. So how much more with the combination, Divine and FOL? So I always say to our members, to our partners, see you in 100. See you
Wow,
when
wow.
we are 100 years old.
All right. Will I be there as well? Yes, I will. Okay, I'll
We will
meet
be
you there.
there.
Another two questions, one from Carolyn Chong again. I take another supplement with pine bark. Is there a known toxicity level for pine bark, please?
Okay, one thing to, if we're going to work with supplements, I don't think we should use the word toxicity. Okay, because it doesn't make sense to me. Like if you're selling a product for nutritional value, and you say, well, this is a level of toxicity in a product, it doesn't inspire confidence that that's a very good product, number one. Number two, we have to take a look at what really, truly we're looking at as optimal levels. We want to look at optimal levels of nutrition all the time. Like there's toxicity with anything. And water has a toxic level. oxygen has a toxic level. So everything's got, but we don't talk about this because it's not part of what our goal is. Our goal is to find out what is the optimal level of what we're taking. And that's one thing we want to focus on, number one. And so if we're taking a product like Divine, the optimal levels are already there. And my suggestion is if you're going to take Divine, you don't have to take all these other vitamins. You don't have to take, another French maritime pine bark extract because it is already there. Okay.
Mhm.
And you don't have to add, you don't have to add zinc to your supplement list because we're trying to optimize everything and give the optimal level of
There's a question here by John, and what is the level in Divine? I can see one capsule has 83.3 milligrams, and that's why
Mhm.
they recommend we take 3 capsules daily. So that meets the daily requirement. And also going back to the word toxicity, I agree with David. It's natural supplement. So the thing that makes it toxic, to be honest, especially with the grapeseed oil that we find on the shelves in the store, health food store, is when they add a chemical called hexane, because hexane is neurotoxin. So that makes it toxic. Although grapeseed oil is natural, once they add a chemical to it, normally it's something that, because it extends the shelf life, right? So that makes it toxic.
Mhm. Oh, wow.
preservative. Yeah.
It
Okay, great.
changes
Thank
the
you very
normal
much.
activity of the nervous system and potentially disrupts or kills the nerve cells. Hexane is very, scary and dangerous.
Wow, thank
So,
you.
you're
Hey,
welcome.
we'll go for the following question from Yvonne Floyd Davis. If a client cannot afford both products, can they take only the Divine? Just like what you said earlier. Okay, please.
Yeah, they can, if they can't afford both products, if they're forced into that, they're two, I just want people to understand that they're two different areas, one thing that Fountain of Life provides is an adjunct to our levels of enterolactone, which we lack. And Divine, if you don't have a very balanced diet, then yeah, Divine would be an excellent product. The idea was when we developed Divine, was to have some synergy with Fountain of Life. Okay.
Exactly,
Alright,
but
thank you very much.
what Divine has, Aranya, David, and whoever asked the question, Yvonne, it has the minerals as well that our body needs. And if they cannot afford a bottle, think of their affordability when it comes to the right choices of food. So it's also compromised. So if we have to recommend the Divine, then it covers quite a lot.
Wow. Okay, great. Yes, please. I believe that helps answer. And we have another question from our Thai team. She was asking, Natamon asked, if the vitamin D3 that is in Divine, where does it come from, please? I mean, like, where do we get that from? Derive that from?
Sorry, I don't know. I didn't formulate this. I don't know their source. I'm sorry. And chances are the lab that manufactured this is not going to tell me their sources. Sorry,
Alright.
those are proprietary, and so there are different sources, and they're all from recognized houses. So I really don't know, and they're not going to tell me.
All right.
So just
Okay.
to mention, in addition to that, I know that we form vitamin D from the sun. Our skin would manufacture that vitamin D when we're exposed to sunlight. right? And they're
Yeah.
stored in fat and released when sunlight is not available. But also we get it from supplements, which we can't tell you exactly the source of the vitamin D, but just for food sources, we get it from eggs, from soft margarine, from fatty fish like salmon, Arctic char, rainbow trout, and sweetened low-fat milk, and then sweetened fortified plant-based beverages.
Mm, okay, all right. Thank you very much. And we have, oh, right, Carolyn Chung just explained what she meant was I'm asking about how much pine bark I can take without creating discomfort for myself. The other supplement is to aid in digestion. There's an upper limit for certain things like zinc. I am just wondering if there is an upper limit for pine bark.
Well, there is a range, like for pine bark, and you have to go on what they call biofeedback. You know, the range varies from 50 milligrams to, believe it or not, over 400 milligrams. And you have to decide what level is, in terms of biofeedback that you're getting the most from. So you have to determine that. We've got optimal levels in it, and I think that's good. But at the same time, we're hitting that range for sure. It's just that biofeedback is not something, it's everything when it comes to supplements, including FOL. That's why we don't state you have to take so many drops a day. We've never said that. We've suggested it, but we've said you got to decide what's best for yourself.
All right, thank you.
The recommended
Okay.
dose for pine bark extract is between, it says 20 to 360 milligrams. So what we have in every capsule is about 83.4 milligrams or 83.3. So multiply that by 3. We're still on the safe side. Okay, this is what I understood about supplementation. You can't really have a comparison between one product and another because we have a safe range. And also, what if our body doesn't need it and we already have enough? It will just be excreted in our pee, right, David?
Yes.
So if our body doesn't need it, we're just wasting it.
Yeah, and that's one thing we have to recognize, that our bodies are going to take so much and then they get rid of the rest of it.
Exactly.
We'd be very wasteful about it, that's for sure. So, I see that you got a different range than I've got. I've always thought it was 50 to about 400, but still,
It's still safe, 360 milligrams,
yeah,
it's close to
it's
400.
close,
What is 40 milligrams between friends?
It's a capsule or two. But you still will benefit at that level. That's the thing. And like some people might take a little more, some people might take a little less, and that's why it's such a wide range. It sounds crazy at times, but
And
we're not taking a drug.
yeah, David, you always say something about we have to listen to our body, the biofeedback. And because we're all different, we're all unique. We don't know what's happening inside. But to take a lot, just to take a certain supplement just because they have so much vitamin C, quercetin, and everything, no, because if your body doesn't need it, it will just come out as pee. It's a waste.
Yeah, you don't want to do that either.
Right.
Exactly. So any more questions, Aranya?
Yes, thank you, Caroline, and for that, and I hope that explained. And then another one, Erling Williams said, we increase dosage of FOL according to level of illness. Can this be said for divine, please?
I know the recommended dose for David. I know the recommended dose is 3 capsules daily.
Yes.
So is there anything more than that? Do we have to increase our dosage if we're not feeling well?
Well, I talked to the lab about that because I thought, and they said, well, if you're sort of under the weather, when I talked to the developers and researchers, they said you can double it if you want for a short period of time. They said there is no value in increasing it beyond that. So, it's a little different than Fountain of Life where you can add a lot more. But they said, yeah, if you're not feeling well, the researchers suggested doubling it, but that's getting the optimal dosage is really at 3. And if you're not feeling 100%, you just want to give yourself a little boost. They said, yeah, double it. And that's what they would recommend.
And what I would recommend too is they probably wanted to tell you that don't take all 6 in one go. Take 3 in the morning and then 3 in the afternoon, and preferably with food. I think that's how it should be. So you will have constant supply of those nutrients in your body.
Right. And you're right about the food, that's for sure. We always forget to mention that.
Yeah,
That
because
because
vitamin
of the
C, the
vitamin,
acidity, right?
yeah,
It
you need the
strong.
food to combine, so.
Exactly. And some of the components you need the food to actually make it work.
Without it, it's not gonna do anything, so yeah.
Correct.
There, about to get rid of it.
All right. Ooh, that's another one. I beg your pardon. Here we are. Oh, yes. She just said thank you. Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so no more question on my side. Wow, it's on the hour. My God, time flies.
If we
So much.
have the opportunity to host again, I know SVP Sanaz asked me to be part of the Crossfire once every month. We'll talk about the other components. We delve further on vitamin C, vitamin D, and the pine bark extract. So we can't absorb everything in one go. So, we take 3 and then we talk about the other half in our next session. So that way we have a better understanding of every component in Divine.
Wow.
I
That's good.
enjoyed tonight's Crossfire. It's fun and it's amazing. We learn from each other. Great discussion.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fawn.
Well, thank you,
Great
Jen.
session. Thank you.
I learned.
We always
That was
learn,
good.
David.
Yeah, well, I'm a student of everything, so I learned something new. So thank you so much for sharing everything you did.
Oh, hang
And
on.
everything you have, because I do appreciate that.
Oh,
Thank you,
sorry.
everyone,
Last
for being on the
question.
call as well. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Just if I may, because last question from Dorothy Ham. Does Divine help acid? That's all it said. Does Divine helps acid? The acid is ACID acid. What does it
Oh, you're
mean?
talking about GERD? Like, you have gastroesophageal
Probably, yeah, probably,
Gastric acid. Okay.
probably,
Oh,
yeah.
no. I don't know. I don't think it's designed for that. We're talking about supplementation. We're not talking about an antacid or something that's going to reduce the amount of hydrochloric acid or acid reflux. Acid reflux in our system is due to the cardia in our stomachs. And I did work on this. And our valve gets very sort of weak and we have a backflow. And so it's not designed for that. It's not a physical change to us. So, and it doesn't reduce, I don't think it does impact the vagus nerve in the stomach. I don't think so.
That's why we recommend to take it with food, because just in case you have existing issues with acid, then it does not really complicate the whole thing.
Right. Wow. Okay, great, and wonderful. You know what? I've learned so much. I have my notes and I wrote everything. If I can understand what I had written, I will share with my team in Thailand as well. Okay, I wrote it so quickly. Thank you very much. This is a great time. I learned everything, and one thing good I remember is we will stay healthy and young, and we'll live long if we take both of this. Thank you very much. Until next
Correct.
time.
Well, thanks,
I-
everyone. We have a good turnout tonight. And David, as always, it's always like a lively discussion, and I enjoyed it.
Well, I did too. And I really appreciate everything that, you brought to this tonight. I learned a lot from you, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so everybody, thank you very much. And it's been a pleasure today, this morning. from all part of the world. And thank you very much from Aranya. Thank you, our speaker, David Okamoto. Thank you, our jazz nurse jazz. This is what our SVP call you, nurse jazz, that we will meet. Hopefully, I'll be hosting again sometime, so I will meet both of you. Otherwise, until next time.
Yeah, one dream, one team to the
One
billion.
team. Yes, exactly. Shall we do it again? 1, 2,
Okay, sure.
3. One team,
One team,
one dream,
to the
to
billion.
the billion. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thanks,
Thank you.
David.
Everyone.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much, everyone.
Aranya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Till
Okay,
next
bye-bye.
time.
Have a good
Bye-bye,
day.
You
everyone.
too. Bye-bye.